Have you ever had that gnawing feeling around someone? A feeling that no matter how much attention or admiration you give, it's somehow never enough? Maybe it's that one friend who always makes everything about them. Or perhaps it's a family member who loves to be the center of attention, to the point where they get frustrated or even aggressive if the spotlight shifts. Chances are, you might be dealing with a narcissist. But what if I told you there's something surprisingly simple you could do that would absolutely stress them out? This is a powerful, eye-opening approach that can dramatically shift your relationship with a narcissist, and it's right within your grasp. In today's exploration, we'll dive into what exactly makes a narcissist tick, and what makes them unravel. Narcissists have a predictable set of desires, needs, and even demands when it comes to attention, validation, and control over others. However, there's a highly effective technique, often overlooked, that anyone can use to shake up the dynamics with a narcissist. By the end of this, you'll understand the subtle but powerful effect of denying them the response they crave, a move so potent that it can leave them in turmoil. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're finding this topic intriguing. Sharing this with friends and family might just help them deal with a difficult personality in their own lives. Now let's get started. In a world where many of us enjoy connection and care about each other's feelings, the narcissist stands apart. To a narcissist, relationships are like currency, tools that can be used to fuel their sense of importance, to manipulate, and to maintain control. But here's where it gets interesting. When you deprive them of this power by simply ignoring them, a fascinating thing happens. Ignoring a narcissist isn't just a way to protect yourself. It's one of the only moves that genuinely shakes them to their core. Let's break down why this seemingly simple act of ignoring them creates such distress, and how it can be a game changer in how you relate to narcissists in your life. At first, ignoring a narcissist might seem easy, right? You're simply not giving them the attention they crave, the spotlight they demand, or the feedback they're constantly seeking. But let's pause here and dig a little deeper into why this approach is effective. Narcissists are fueled by something called narcissistic supply, a concept you may have heard before. This supply is the admiration, validation, and attention that narcissists constantly seek from those around them. Think of it like an emotional currency that they require to feel good about themselves. Without it, a narcissist's self-esteem plummets. They feel worthless, frustrated, and empty without this validation. Imagine that. Someone who spends so much energy crafting their image and personality, trying to impress and manipulate others, feeling worthless because you're not paying attention to them. It sounds almost ironic, doesn't it? Yet it's completely true. The power of ignoring is that it taps directly into the very core of what the narcissist needs to function. When they don't get that supply from you, it's like cutting off their air supply, leaving them grasping for attention, unable to feel that sense of superiority or self-worth they're so desperate to maintain. The reaction from a narcissist when you ignore them can vary widely. For some, the response is immediate and intense. They might go to great lengths to provoke a reaction out of you. Maybe they'll resort to insults, guilt-tripping, or bringing up old grievances, all in an attempt to get a response. They could suddenly start being overly sweet or caring, attempting to reel you back in with kindness. For others, the response might be quieter, but no less significant. A narcissist might start making passive-aggressive comments, attempting to stir up just enough emotion to regain your attention. Regardless of how it shows, the underlying cause is always the same. By ignoring them, you've disrupted the flow of the narcissistic supply. This technique of ignoring, or what's sometimes called the gray rock method, is particularly effective when dealing with narcissists. The goal of the gray rock method is simple: to become as uninteresting and unresponsive as possible. You don't argue, you don't engage, and you definitely don't give them the emotional response they're fishing for. Instead, you remain neutral, boring, and indifferent. By doing so, you essentially take away any excitement or satisfaction they might get from your reactions. Why does this work so well? Narcissists thrive on drama and emotional upheaval. They want your reactions, the bigger the better. When you argue, cry, or even just defend yourself passionately, you're feeding their need for engagement. By not giving them this reaction, you're effectively removing yourself from their grip. Over time, this lack of emotional response can lead the narcissist to feel disinterested or even frustrated with you because they aren't getting the satisfaction they want. Imagine how empowering it is to not just deny them what they're after, but to feel at peace doing so. Now, a word of caution here. Ignoring a narcissist can trigger some pretty intense responses. In some cases, the narcissist might escalate their behavior, trying even harder to push your buttons. They may become more manipulative or employ tactics like guilt tripping, gaslighting, or even love bombing to regain your attention. This is something to be prepared for, because the narcissist's need for control often runs so deep that they can't tolerate losing their grip on someone. Staying consistent with ignoring them can be challenging in the face of this, but it's worth it. Over time, a narcissist will begin to realize that their efforts are no longer yielding the desired results, and they might eventually withdraw or shift their focus elsewhere. Some people worry that ignoring a narcissist is cruel or unkind. But here's the reality. Ignoring is a self-protective measure. It's about setting boundaries and taking control of your own emotional health. Narcissists often engage in behavior that's emotionally draining, confusing, and at times even abusive. By choosing not to engage, you're prioritizing your well-being. You're essentially saying, I'm not willing to participate in this game. Now, if you're worried about whether you can keep this up in the long term, remember that practice makes perfect. At first, ignoring a narcissist might feel strange or even uncomfortable, especially if you're someone who's used to being responsive or emotionally available. But over time, this approach can become second nature. You'll start to notice how much better you feel when you're not caught up in their web, and how much more grounded you are when you refuse to give in to their provocations. It's fascinating how such a simple action can have such a profound impact, isn't it? Ignoring a narcissist might not be easy at first, but it's an incredibly powerful tool in reclaiming your peace. Narcissists have a knack for pulling people into their sphere of influence, often making those around them feel small, unheard, or even invisible. By choosing not to engage, you're asserting your autonomy and dignity. You're setting a precedent that you won't be manipulated into providing the supply they need. So, the next time you find yourself dealing with a narcissist, remember the power of ignoring. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate them back. It's about reclaiming control of your emotional energy and refusing to participate in the drama they thrive on. Over time, you might even notice a surprising side effect. When you stop feeding a narcissist's need for attention, they often lose interest and move on, searching for someone else who will play their game. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into the psychology of narcissists and the powerful effect of ignoring them. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. We hope you feel empowered with tools to take back control in any relationship with a narcissist. Remember, setting boundaries is a way to protect yourself, and you have every right to do so. Stay strong, and see you in the next video. Have you ever had that gnawing feeling around someone? A feeling that no matter how much attention or admiration you give, it's somehow never enough? Maybe it's that one friend who always makes everything about them. Or perhaps it's a family member who loves to be the center of attention, to the point where they get frustrated or even aggressive if the spotlight shifts. Chances are, you might be dealing with a narcissist. But what if I told you there's something surprisingly simple you could do that would absolutely stress them out? This is a powerful, eye-opening approach that can dramatically shift your relationship with a narcissist, and it's right within your grasp. In today's exploration, we'll dive into what exactly makes a narcissist tick and what makes them unravel. Narcissists have a predictable